It's Saturday, September 15th, 2018, and I'm at the legendary rock and roll venue, the Troubadour, located in West Hollywood. Countless famous artists have made their debut or were discovered at this nightclub since it originally opened in 1957. Elton John made his U.S. debut here in 1970. The Eagles' Don Henley and Glenn Frey met at the bar here. System of a Down performed their first headline show at the Troubadour. Carole King, Linda Ronstadt, The Byrds, Van Morrison are just a few others whose careers were established within these walls. But tonight, I'm here to watch another band perform, Laced in Blue.
Just like everybody else, I'm becoming jaded. I want free from this hell. I gotta find better words. Might just do the trick.
They are a local Long Beach band who play progressive blues rock.
What makes you take
Kaylee is their lead singer. Will and Jerry are their guitarists. Ian is their drummer, and Nate is on the bass. This is their story.
we could be so strong? Find a reason to unite. No reason is wrong.
My name's Jerry Valley, 31, play for a band called Laced in Blue. The band started probably about 3 years ago, I believe. Started with me and the lead singer playing cover songs for some gig that she was offered from a friend, I guess. I forget. You'd have to ask her specifically about that. We've been playing for a while, and we started off doing alternative music, and slowly weren't really feeling it, even though people liked it. So we moved over to more of a bluesy sound, which I feel like we're moving away with now. And going more alternative again, or a little bit heavier this time. So yeah, that's currently where we're at.
My name is Kaylee Robin Michelle Brown. I just go by Kaylee Robin. I am 31 years old. Yeah, I sing in Laced in Blue. It's awesome. Well, it just kind of happened. It was one of those things where I was living in Long Beach. My neighbor was jamming one night, and I heard her, and I decided to go over and check it out, and picked up the mic and just kind of started singing. And that's actually when I met Jerry. He was jamming too, and everybody was partying, and so it was like, yeah, let's start a band. And then we never got each other's information, and like just carried on with our lives. And then one day I was working, and I got a phone call from this event company I used to work for, and I guess they had heard that I enjoy singing, and they wanted to give me some stage time, and they asked me if I was able to get a band together or somebody to play along with me, or if I was gonna need a track. I'm like, I don't want to sing over a track. I'm like, I'll get somebody. And as soon as I hung up the phone, in walks Jerry. And he was partying at the bar, and I had to write down the songs and my phone number like 16 times, putting it in his pocket, and he kept losing it. And I finally just took his phone and texted myself and was like, we're playing music together. You already said yes. And so the next day when I hit him up, he was like, what's going on? Who are you? And I was like, we're going to play some music together. And he's like, okay. And then turned out he just lived up the block from me. And so we started working on music. And then eventually we found Ian and Will. And Ian actually came up with the name Laced in Blue. And, you know, it started to sink in, and we all kind of liked it. And so we just went ahead and went for it. And then we were Laced in Blue. And it's just been unfolding so beautifully, and I can't be more grateful for the experience with it, you know.
My name's Will Smith. I'm 33. I'm from Long Beach, California. Well, so I play guitar, and I like to joke around that I'm the lead headbanger. So I got into Laced in Blue a while ago. It's been about 2.5 years, I'd say. I met Jerry at well, I guess we met through sort of a group of friends. We were all kind of drinking buddies at Iguana Kelly's, and after the bar would close, we'd go over to this guy, Sean's house, and, you know, one night I brought a guitar over there and started playing guitar, and Jerry was like, oh, hey, you play guitar. Like, can I play your guitar? And I was like, sure. And then he played the guitar, and I was like, damn, this guy's pretty good at the guitar. At the time, I was in another band, but Jerry asked if I wanted to jam, and I was like, yeah, definitely. Because my other band was kind of not going where I wanted it to, so I thought, well, yeah, let's give this a shot. So we jammed at my house a couple times, but nothing really happened. And then some time passed, and I guess Jerry had lost my number, and then ran into a different mutual friend of ours. And he said, hey, you got Will's number, right? I want to give him a call. I want him to join this band I'm trying to start. So he got the number, called me, was like, you want to be in a band? And I was like, fuck yeah.
The band is about halfway through their set, and everybody in the crowd is rocking out. We watch as Kaylee dances around the stage and Will headbangs along to the music while Jerry begins his guitar solo.
I've studied like a lot of how people act on stage, you know, and I've always been torn between like the good artists that don't really need to do much on stage and rock out. Like, for example, I like Tool a lot, and they don't do too much on stage, you know. They're just really dark, and their ambiance is dark, and it's like mysterious, you know, and that's kind of cool, you know. But if people love them, you know, not everyone, obviously, but that's one way of going about it. Then there's, for example, like Guns N' Roses, they're jumping all over the place and doing wild things, and that's cool too, you know, at certain times. Different times, like on intros, you know, I'll step up to the mic or step up to the front of the stage, you know, because they want to see like where it's coming from, and people enjoy like some showmanship. And then when Kaylee comes in, you know, I try to step back and try to let her sing out, because it's mostly about the singer, you know. And then solos too, I'll probably step out to the front. I usually look towards, like, I really like how Slash from Guns N' Roses plays. Like, he puts the guitar up on his thigh and plays, and it just like, it makes like this big presence for guitar solos, you know, and lets everyone know that you're playing that. But yeah, it depends also too on what the vibe of the group is, or what the, like, sometimes we're not playing that good and I don't feel like doing much, and I'm like, get inside my head, like I said, and I just want to stand there and play guitar. Or sometimes the audience isn't even paying attention and you're playing at a particular spot, like a restaurant, for example, maybe, and people don't want to see you jumping around like an idiot, you know. They're just probably there to have dinner and relax, and, you know, so it depends on the setting as too. But the ideal part is being able to do whatever you want and playing at a big show with lots of people.
So, you know, I close my eyes a lot because it helps me really just forget the crowd's there. I can't overthink. If I overthink, then I'll forget what the fuck I'm up there doing. I will forget lyrics. I will forget my cue. If I'm thinking too much, if I'm looking in the crowd trying to see who's there, you know, that messes me up. So a lot of times I'll close my eyes, I look up, I look down, I look anywhere except for into the crowd most of the time. Yeah. And I just kind of let the music flow. You know, when I start to feel it, I like to dance and I like to move my body to the rhythm to really get into it. And when I start singing, you know, it suddenly becomes like clockwork, and like all the nerves go away because it just starts coming out, you know, like it's like I wrote this song, I know it. I guess when it comes down to like embodying rock and roll, I think I have had my moments where I've pictured like Jim Morrison You know, just because he's
Yeah.
like he was a crazy performer. He'd fall on the ground and he would, you know, he'd move his body erratically and he would do things just fearlessly. And like I think that's what it's about, is just like being fearless up there and just doing what the music tells you to do. You know, like some performances are a little more calm than others. Some are extremely high energy, and I'm headbanging and I'm jumping around and I'm, you know, dancing around, and it's just really whatever I feel in that moment. But I think our best shows are when I really just let loose and just let it all go, you know, and let it all out, and it's just about feeling it. You know, you just gotta feel it and be fearless. I think that's really how rock and roll is meant to be performed.
The most important thing for me when I'm performing, you know, besides playing, I guess it's two parts for me. You can play your music perfectly and be boring to watch, or you can be really exciting to watch but not sound very good, and neither one is really complete, in my opinion. I think when I go watch somebody perform, I want to be entertained by, you know, the visual awesomeness of what I'm seeing, and I also want to hear what I came to hear. You know, I want people to be entertained by, you know, they've paid $15 to stand there and look at me for 30 minutes, and I want them to feel like that was worth it. Like, I went and saw this guy and it was so much fun to watch. You know, he was all over the place, jumping around, sweating like crazy. I bleed a lot on stage. Usually it's just one finger, but you know, I try to make that part of it like really engaging, and then also play my parts well. No, not everybody wants to rock out to the nth degree on stage, and that's okay, but I like to.
And with one last epic rock and roll anthem, Laced in Blue's show is over. But the crowd wants more. Encore! We all yell, play one more song!
Usually afterwards, I would say that we usually like to plan something, or at least have an idea where we're gonna go. You know, that get the whole rock star night vibe going, so it's fun. You know.
After a show's over, it's always a really good feeling. We all kind of look at each other almost every time, like, yeah, I think they liked it. You know, like we kind of like check in with each other, like, good job, yeah, okay, nice, and we laugh at each other for the mistakes we make. Mistakes are bound to happen, and when we do, you know, we poke fun. Like, where were you there? Oh, like one time I completely missed an entire verse, and I don't think there was very many people that noticed it. Maybe just a couple of our entourage that comes to every show. They were like, Kaylee, what happened? And of course the band was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
But, you know, it happened, and we made fun of it, but you laugh it off and you move forward and you know not to do it again on the next show. But typically there ends up being quite a great amount of drinking. It's not like it's ever like really planned, but you know, you step off the stage and you're greeted by all your friends that want to hug you and tell you did a good job. Strangers want to hug you and tell you did a good job. You know, people want to ask you questions like, oh, what was this one song about? You know, and so you find yourself chatting a lot, and then they go, oh, can I get you a drink? And so you find yourself, sure, you know, taking shots with people that want to buy you shots and drinking beers with people that want to buy you beers, and it's, you know, you step off the stage and it's a feeling like no other. You feel like you're high.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have to be on any drugs, but you step off that stage and you're just like, yeah, like you're feeling good. Like there's nothing like it, that's for sure. There's definitely nothing like it. And it usually ends up being a long night and everybody's just up having a great time. It's I think honestly, I think it's worth celebrating. It's a successful show is worth celebrating, you know. Any chance we can celebrate after show, we do, because it's just like one more step towards our goals of making it, I guess, you know, whatever that is, you know.
Well, since I'm often driving the wagon full of the band gear, I, maybe have a beer to kind of calm myself down a little bit, have some water, and, watch the next band, and then load up the car and drive us to wherever we're hanging out after the show, And that's when I really get to let loose and kind of do my thing. But you know how sometimes it's more fun to watch people get drunk than get drunk yourself.
Yeah.
So a lot of times by that point, everybody else is already on a good one, and I'm like, I could try to play catch up, or I could just be entertained with how drunk all of you guys are. So that's good for my my hangover the next morning.
It was an awesome night, to say the least. I'm looking forward to watching Laced in Blue play again. Maybe next time at the Hollywood Bowl.